Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is RemovableSanity and today I am reviewing Rift Keeper on the Xbox One. It's been developed by Frymore and published by Sometimes You. So what is Rift Keeper? Rift Keeper is best described as a rogue-lite platformer with a handcrafted 2D art style. The developers of Frymore are just 2 persons strong and this is their second game. The premise of the game is straightforward. You are a Rift Keeper, a person whose sole purpose is to shut down rifts to dungeons. A little town has summoned you, a gate has been opened, and it's up to you to ensure it will be closed forever. And this leads me on to the gameplay. You start off by arriving at the town in question. Well, it's more of a village to be precise. This will be your hub where you regularly come back to, either by death or by completion of a dungeon. It's a place to upgrade your character and ensure you are suitably buffed for your next round of hell that awaits you. There are 3 distinct NPCs who will help you on your journey to find out how the rifts was opened and ensuring they stay closed. The first is a person who will take 5 collectibles, flying bats if I'm not mistaken, and in return give you a random unique gift. There's a healthy number dotted around each dungeon, so exploring these is worthwhile. The next main NPC you'll be visiting is the Blacksmiths, who will be providing you with a collection of specialised weapons like crossbows, sword and shield, and even magical powers. These each have specialised stats that can buff and debuff your stats. Careful weighing up when choosing your implementation of death, though, is critical. Weapons like the crossbow can provide great long distance strikes, but the real heavy hitters is the halberds. The next is the shop owner, who provides you with necklaces, rings and amulets. These are items solely to buff your health and damage, but like the weapons, they too have stats that can give as well as take away, depending on your choice. Finally, and most importantly, is the church's main statue. This here gives you a simplistic but effective character progression tree. Permanent stats that increase health, damage and speed, and gold drops are available in exchange for the required red gems. However, collection of these are a necessity for you to move forward and give you that much needed of feeling of becoming the badass you know you are. Right before you enter the latest dungeon, you are shown a modifier telling you exactly how much the enemy's health and damage is. These modifiers raise with the completion of each dungeon, making the game progressively harder. There are currently 30 handcrafted dungeons for you to fight through. Once you enter the dungeon, it's up to you to fight your way through and complete the task before riding the rift back to the village and collecting your reward in the form of a chest. To do so, you will need to kill at least 70% of the enemies, otherwise you cannot leave. Each area has a variety of enemies, a number of collectibles, 1 health regen stone, and 1 random buff statue. You can also get a timer that reduces, which if you complete the dungeon within the allotted time, will provide you with a bonus chest for you to unlock. Now, there is no map to the dungeon, and the enemy and loot locations are procedurally generated. Because of this, you'll need to carefully memorise the layout as you explore. This is mostly because, as stated earlier, there's only 1 health regen stone, so managing to know where this is located when you find it is paramount to ensuring you can continue should your health get too low. A nice curveball in these dungeons is the inclusion of the random buff statue. Try saying that 5 times. Using these can either give you a permanent buff or a permanent debuff that is only removed when you die. You don't have to use them, but they can provide a tremendous advantage to your progression, and as there's 1 per level, it means you would lose potentially out on a very large number of buffs. Now, killing enemies is no quick feat, and you'll need to learn each of the AI's attacks and how best to dodge them. However, once you do, you should be taking these out with a few simple swipes of your weapon. I thoroughly enjoyed defeating each and every enemy, and in some cases would forego the time bonus just to get 100% on the level. There is a nice variety of enemies, however, I would have preferred more as they are recycled a bit in later dungeons. Your character has a heavy hit attack and a range attack once you pick up the weapon to do so, but without a doubt, dodge is your best friend. This will be your main move to avoid damage, and learning to use this well will be key. Because this is a platformer, there is a vast amount of jumping, and for me this was the only item I had a bit of an issue with. When using the controller, it seemed a bit clunky when inputting the jump command and trying to grab onto a ledge. However, after a while I got used to its slight lag and was able to counter it. Hopefully this is something the developer can rectify and update with a patch. You will die in this game, and whilst you do get punished, it won't be too much. When you die, you lose all your weapons, amulets and statue buffs and a little bit of gold. The only thing that fully stays is the collectibles and the red gems that you use to level your character with. Also, there is no save point, so if you get to level 28 and die, back to the beginning for you. Now this may feel like a real punishment to begin with, but as you level up, you can soon complete a dungeon in a matter of minutes, making the journey back to where you were not so painful. There are 9 levels to get to the boss, and once you do, you can take them on directly. I found these bosses fun, but a little easy when you realise how to counter their moves. One thing I would love to see the developer do is maybe add more future DLC perhaps. And this leads me on to the graphics. The 2D art style is nice and vibrant and reminds me of Dead Cells. The colour palette works really well and fleshes out the different enemies beautifully. Dungeons are well lit and really ooze a mood of their own, with nice touches to the lighting. I saw no frame drops while traversing or in combat, and the characters' movements are fluid and satisfying. Now the developers have added a 4K option, however to my naked eye I really couldn't see the difference except for the general text being smaller. I also lost the option when it was selected, so returning to a different resolution was impossible. This is probably a bug, and one I hope gets fixed soon. Overall though, I like the art style, and it gave the game its own uniqueness. So, what about the sound? The music of this game is superb. It's a fantastic blend of synthwave and electronic that ramps up your carnage perfectly. If the tracks were sold separately, I would recommend you in buying them, they are that good. Weapon and enemy sounds are also well suited and provide a good touch when either of them come together. Now there is no voice work in the game, but this is something you won't really care about. The best way to listen to this is either with a decent surround system or some good gaming headset. And this leads me on to the rating of the game. Now I rate games in order of avoid, on sale, great purchase and must own. My rating for Rift Keeper is a great purchase. This is a perfect game for those looking to get into Rogue-Lite as a genre, as it straddles the line of fun versus punishment really well. It is a fun game to play, challenging in some areas, and can easily suck you in. However, once you have completed it, there isn't much in terms of replayability, unless you are after seeing how far you can keep going. The game is currently priced on Xbox at £8.39, or approximately $10, and depending on your skill would give you about 20 hours worth of gameplay. Yes, there are some bugs, but nothing that would really dent your enjoyment of the game. Overall, this is a fun little title and well done for just a 2-person indie team. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. I do hope you like this review, and if you do, please like, share and subscribe if you so wish. And if you would like to put some notes or even just a comment in the comment section, I do like reading them. Anyway, Have a great time gaming, and I'll see you all again soon.